Hey everybody, it is another exciting day today. It is another exciting day out in the garden because today we are planting tomatoes. Look at those beauties. We're finally getting them outside, finally got them hardened off, and we are ready to plant. Today we're gonna go through what I'm planting, where I'm gonna plant these guys, how many of these guys I'm gonna plant. We're gonna show you how I plant these tomatoes. We're also gonna try to give you any tips or tricks. So let's get right into this, guys. Hey everybody, Doug the Crock Gardener here. Glad to have you out here in the garden. Today's one of those special days. I feel like there's several of those out in the gardener's year. The first one has to be when you're planting those seeds, those first seeds. My onion seeds were the first ones to go into the soil this year, this calendar year. That's definitely an excitement that you get, something that you know is something good is in the future is coming. So that's one of the special days. The other days is when you plant your tomato seeds, which is kind of because you already planted some seeds. But the third one is when you actually plant these tomatoes out in the garden. Now, why is that? The tomatoes are a very stable crop in my household. We've made chili base, we made tomato sauce, we did pizza sauce, pasta sauce, we did ketchup last year. We're gonna make some barbecue sauce this year. We've done tomato soup in the past. We just canned regular tomatoes. You name it with these tomatoes, we've done it. So we use up quite a bit of tomatoes. Last year I think I had 47 plants. This year I don't think I'm gonna go quite as high, but you never know. We're gonna get planting here in a little bit and maybe I'll have 50. Who knows? But let's get to it. All right guys, the first thing I gotta do here is take out all these turnips out of this bed. I will get all these turnips gone. As you can see, we still have the winter garden mess we gotta clean up. This is the spot right through here is where I'm gonna be planting some tomatoes. And then right over yonder, right by where I planted those other potatoes is where I'm also gonna do this. So let's get all these, the bees are gonna hate me for doing this, but we gotta get it done. But we'll see. Look at that little guy right there. Okay guys, got the bed cleared out and I got my tomatoes laid out. Let's get down and dirty with this. Okay guys, this is how we're gonna work it. You can see here I have my tomatoes and these tomatoes are pretty tall. So I did take them and up pot them into these pots, which makes a huge difference. Got a marker on them. The roots aren't quite down to the bottom of these. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna pinch off that bottom leaf and we're gonna probably bury it up to there. We're gonna try to plant these deep. By planting them deep, we'll get a good root system and you can plant these alongside the stem. So let's get down in here. Man, this is some nice dark dirt. A couple things, when you're planting these guys, you'll notice there's all kinds of little hairs along the stem. Those hairs don't really produce roots, but the nodules that you might find along the stem will. I got a good one here. Once I find it, I'll show it to you. But essentially, we're gonna take this guy and we're gonna try to stick it down as deep as possible to get us a nice, good, solid root system. So we're in there. And there you go. Now, make sure you label them or have some type of map available to you so you know which ones are which. So what I usually did in the past too with this as well is I'd throw some fertilizer down that hole. And by me throwing that fertilizer down that hole, I felt like I gave it plenty of nutrients for it to grow. In the past I used super triple phosphate, which was a basically phosphate booster. I did a garden test this year. Check out that video if you haven't seen it. But I have plenty of phosphates, plenty of phosphorus, and plenty of potassium in my soil, so I don't need to worry about that. All I really need to worry about is putting nitrogen on here. And you'll see me water these down with some liquid fertilizer that has plenty of nitrogen in it. So that's my steps I'm taking this year. Now, in the past, I know some people, they chuck an egg in there. That egg probably provides nutrients. I've never done this, but that egg probably provides nutrients and also provides a sense of calcium. I'm way up on calcium as well. So, you guys have heard that, if you watch my other videos, you heard me say that I am not going to plant things too close together this year. We may not live up to that promise today. Just telling you that. So what do you think that is? That's probably about a foot, my guess. Would be about a foot apart. How far apart do you guys plant yours? I typically try to do them about a foot apart. Try to stay on top of the pruning, and I can get good plants to go straight up. Not as bushy off to the sides. I get tons of tomatoes that way. The key is staying on top of that pruning. So we're gonna do these a foot apart. We're gonna see how many we can get in this bed, and we're gonna go from there. I think this is what they talk about when they say they got nodules. You see these guys right here? I don't know if you can see those. Yeah, like right there. Those are some nodules. So we're gonna take probably this leaf off, probably this leaf off, and then plant it all the way up to here. Look at all those nodules right there. There you go. Now you can see the nodules. We're gonna remove that leaf anyways. Now you see those nodules in there? Those probably will become roots. Okay guys, one other thing that you guys want to do before you plant your tomatoes is make sure they're properly hardened off. If you guys were out or planted these guys inside and bringing them outside, didn't purchase them from anywhere, you gotta make sure that you harden them off properly. Check out Wednesday's video on this. I did a little bit of a comprehensive guide on how I harden off my tomatoes, why you should harden them off, what are the elements involved with hardening them off. So always something good to take advice with. Definitely harden off your stuff, whether it be tomatoes, squash, peppers, everything. Harden them off if you started them inside. So what am I planting out here? I have several varieties that I am planting out here. I have this guy right here is a Rebel Star Prime. I got an Ehrlich Ochre right here. I planted several of my award-winning Big Tomato Challenge, award-winning last year tomatoes. Those are the Mrs. Maxwell's Big Italian. And I got this year's already planted out there. I probably should have videoed that for you guys. But I got those are my Big Zacks. Those are both looking fantastic. We also have Kid Croc's Tomato Challenge plant also planted, and that is the Giant Belgium. We do have a couple cherry tomatoes. I think there's a blueberry tomato, a blueberry cherry tomato that I got from M.I. Gardner. I also have a sugar sweet, is that what it's called? Sun sugar tomato. That's also another cherry tomato. Hoping those will taste good. In the past, I always did Sun Gold. I couldn't find any seeds this year, so I used what I could find, which I think it'll all turn out great. You guys see too here, I got a trellis already set up on this row. I do have to set up a trellis on that other row. Essentially, the plants will grow up. Once they get this tall, I can strap them in here with some Velcro. What else? I got Granny Cottrell tomatoes. I have Prairie Fire tomatoes. Those are a couple new ones. Some German pinks. Those are also new ones. I got my tried and true Sans Marizano. Red sausage has been a tried and true for the last 3 years, I think. I got some Saucy Lady as well that I'm trying out this year too. I got all kinds of tomatoes. Where am I planting these? You notice I got 3 different beds I'm planting them in. And if you notice last year where I planted them, they're a total different spot. I try to do that just to try to, keep blight away. Blight's a soil-borne disease. And I don't know if it's true or not, but I believe if you have the plant in the same soil over and over again and you have blight, you're probably going to get blight again, which all my tomatoes usually get blight at some point in time. It's just trying to ward it off so it doesn't get it earlier than later. So that's one of the things that I try to do, why I try to rotate. The other thing is why I try to rotate is it kind of spreads the nutrients around. Tomatoes probably use up different nutrients than, let's say, onions or squash or peppers. So I try to keep those nutrients available and try to rotate throughout the beds so I can use up whatever nutrients are available, and then try to replenish as I go around. It's a style of crop rotation that I do. I do like to have a little bit of a rotation with all my crops, so that way I'm not introducing diseases and have problems over and over again. Some things that I don't move around are definitely my perennials. I can't move those. So a couple tips. Like I said, if you're gonna plant your tomatoes, the number one tip I can give you is to plant them deep. And basically you want to plant them deep. This is a cherry tomato, so it really doesn't matter as much, but you want to plant your tomato maybe up to the deep side, so that way the nodules can spread out roots. If you notice on this guy here, I got some little buds on there. This is way too early for them to be producing little flowers. So I'm gonna take those flowers off. And the reason behind that is I want to put more energy into the root system and into the stems and into the leaves and foliage. Now, probably towards the middle of May, I probably won't be doing that, but for a while here, I will be picking off some of those flowers if they start forming. Another tip I have for you: when you're planting these, let's say you got a lot of windy days or something like that. Like I do have a windy area up here. Put a coffee can around it. This bottomless coffee can here. Put that around your plant. Basically, that'll create a little zone, a little safety zone for your tomato. And it'll keep the wind from blowing it over, make a little microclimate where it will stay a little bit warmer. And it'll also keep the pests like bugs and, well, not necessarily bugs, but it'll keep the rabbits and rodents and stuff away. Something my grandfather did. So it's a little trick that I do from time to time with things. Yet another great advice tip I can suggest is plant some companion plants. These are marigolds. These will definitely keep some critters away. They do provide some nematodes in the soil. They attract some good beneficial nematodes in the soil, so you won't have the root problems. You also notice here I got a row of onions in front of me. That'll also help keep some critters away. Keep the smell of that will keep the critters from smelling the tomato plants. So different things like that can be a good idea to plant in your garden. So guys, I think what I'm going to do is get the rest of these planted. If you guys want to see how these tomatoes produce, what I'm going to do all year long with all this fruit that I'm getting, I think I counted up a total of 32, 36, something like that tomatoes. Not quite the 47 I had last year, but still quite a bit. So if you guys want to see some excellent videos that I'm going to put out on what I do with all these guys, subscribe. Click that like button, guys. Let's have a discussion down below as well. How are you guys planting your tomatoes? Are you guys doing anything different? When are you guys planting your tomatoes? It is a good time of year for me. I'm excited, guys. Cheers, everybody, and God bless.